Hey guys, Manu here. Today I'm gonna be showing you the game which I played against the Grandmaster Praveen Sagar. Here's the spelling, you know, here it is. You can Google on him, and yeah. So Sir was playing a friendly match against me, and for those who don't know, GM Praveen Sagar is my chess coach. Yeah. So he was playing a friendly match against four of us simultaneously, including me. Excluding me, three of us. I don't know what were the results of the other three games, but this is the result of my game. So let's dive in. So we began with a normal e4, e5. Then Sir went for the Vienna gambit. The Vienna game, which is you play nc3, protecting the e4 pawn. I played c5, further getting more control on this d4 square. Sir played nf3 to attack my pawn on e5, and now I could have played f6 or bishop d6 or develop my knight and play nc6 to protect the pawn. But what I played was d6. Yeah, and then Sir went for you know bishop c4 because it's like a outpost and attacking the f7 pawn. And then we continued the game. I played nc6, further getting more control on the d4 square and protecting the pawn. And then Sir castled. And over here, nf6, a clear blunder. And now I'm not going to tell what the blunder is, okay? What I'm going to do is I'll leave it as a mystery, and I'll leave that to you guys what the blunder is, and the one who comes up with a perfect explanation with a move, I'll pin their comment. Comment on below and get a chance, to get your comment pinned. So Sir played h3. I played bishop e7, you know, protecting the knight again, and to cavalry. And then Sir played d3, you know, to protect the e4 pawn. And then I castled, king safety is first kind. Yeah, and the game continued by Sir attacking my, knight on f6. And there's a saying that if you're playing with an, higher rated opponent, you might wanna trade off all the pieces, cause then they will, take some time to think like what they have to do, you know, cause they have to find the best moves, right? Like, yeah, they find the best moves, and if they don't have those many pieces, yeah, they can't find it. It'll be tough for them. So yeah, I went on with it and I took the knight on d5, so took with the pawn. Then I attacked on Sir's knight on f3. Sir, instead of Sir taking, Sir pushed c3 to kick off my knight from there. But I played f5, keeping the control on the d4 square. Sir played d4, to break my pawn chain. But I went on to capture with the c5 pawn. Then Sir took with the pawn, I took, Sir took, and I said, you want to trade off all the pieces if you're playing with a higher rated opponent. I traded it, and then I attacked Sir's queen, by playing bishop f6. Sir went back, then I took control of the open e file, and then Sir went to bishop b3, and I'm gonna leave this too as a mystery. You guys can comment down below, why Sir played this, the reason behind it, everything, and I'll be pinning that. like there are three questions, okay? And those who get all three questions right, I'm gonna be pinning this. So I played g6. So I played bishop e4. I mean e3. I I played bishop g7. So I challenged my bishop. I attacked the queen once again. And here I gained a tempo on the queen. And for those who don't know what a tempo is basically, when you develop an undeveloped piece to attack the opponent's piece and make him move twice. Like how I did. Like I attacked, he moved, and then I again attacked. And that wastes a move for the white team. And then I played pawn b6, which is a complete blunder. I thought Sir would just, take the hanging pawn, but apparently it's a blunder. And so Sir challenged my rook. I played e4, rook e4, pinning the bishop. And for those who don't know what a pin is like there are two types of pins. One is a relevant pin or relevant pin. No, what is it? It is either a relevant pin or a relevant pin, or whatever pin. It's like you can move the piece, but if you do, I capture the piece behind it, and the piece behind it should be a bigger piece. And the second one is the absolute pin. Like suppose if I play this here, there's a bishop here and my queen's here. He can't move the bishop because if he does move the bishop, it's a check. So he can't move it. Wait, I'll just show it to you. Um, a minute. I'll just open another analysis over here. Wait, I'll just show it to you. Let's just put this over here. Take out all this. One minute. Yeah, here it is. So suppose if your king is here and there's a queen and your bishop's in the middle, you can't move the bishop because it would be a check, and that would not be legal to move except you're doing it if you're doing it in an analysis. So yeah, this is called an absolute pin. And suppose if the king wasn't there and there was a queen, and I mean, yeah, white could move the bishop, but it would end up in, I taking the queen. So yeah, let's just get back to the topic. A minute. I'll just load the PGN. And where were we? Yeah. And as I said, I gained a tempo, and then so went to the queen b4, which is a relevant pin. As I said, I played, but first I protected the b7 pawn. I protected the b7 pawn by pushing it, and then it turned out to be a blunder. But so did not see why. And then I play, so charged my rook, and then I played re4, making the relevant pin. So I took my rook, I took it back with my queen, and then Sir protected the bishop twice, because it was attacked twice. Like it's attacked twice. And then Yeah, I played bishop h3. I'm not going to tell you what my intention was, and this is the last question. Tell me what my intention was of taking the h3 pawn. I'll just keep it a secret. Yeah, I'm not going to tell what happened, but you guys have to guess it. So now I took the bishop on d4, so I took with the rook, I took it back, and it was like an equalized game except that I had a pawn extra. And then we continued. So activated his king, I activated my king. So played bishop c4. I pushed the pawn, so I knew why Sir played bishop c4 because he wanted to, come here, block the a7 pawn and then, not allow the b5 pawn to march forward. And so I played f5, So brought his king forward, even I brought my king forward. So pushed the pawn, even I pushed the pawn. So blocked the h5 pawn, and I went to king e5. Oh wait, yeah, that was my next move. I pushed the bishop back, you know, to c5 to keep it protected. I knew Sir would come here to attack my bishop somehow, like, I don't know how. Maybe move his bishop away and, come like that. But yeah, Sir went back. I came forward to e5, as I said before, and so check me with f4. I could have gone to d4, attack the bishop, but I don't know why I went to e4. And then Sir played, bishop b6. I took the pawn, the hanging pawn. So I went to bishop e8 to grab my pawns. And then I saw that and I knew I couldn't defend those. So I just went on to grab the b3 and a4 pawn. So Sir took, I went to c3, Sir took again, I took on b3, and Sir protected the pawn. And I knew if I pushed, so we'll just take either with the pawn or the bishop. I think so will take with the pawn, so that he can get a passed pawn. Or he could have just pushed this. But yeah, I couldn't play anything because this is blocked. If I push, I'm gonna lose it. This is blocked. And I can't move my bishop anywhere useful. So what I did was d5. I started using my passed pawn. And then Sir came forward, Sir brought the king to f3 to stop my pawn. As I further pushed, Sir came to e4, I went to king c3. Sir played bishop b4. I attacked I attacked the pawn, on h4, and Sir did the same. He attacked the pawn on h5. I pushed, Sir took, I took, then Sir again, pushed. I took the opposition by pushing the pawn, and then Sir pushed the pawn, and yeah, I pushed my king again, it's one step away from promoting, and yeah, the Sir's bishop is guarding the square. So went back, I guess, to protect the pawn and go. And so I checked Sir, and Sir had the opposition, so I just ignored it. And then I played bishop c5, stopping this pawn from promoting. And then Sir came to b5. Okay, and yeah, I was trying to get some opposition. So I pushed, I took the opposition, so checked. And here was when I knew until this bishop is there, I can't promote. I can't either move these two pawns or promote. So I just, so I went to king c6 to protect the pawn. I went to king b2 to attack the bishop. So I went back, and then I pushed my king to c1. And then Sir pushed his bishop to f3, and I got his bishop. And Sir played this in between move of going, of going to b5 to attack these two pawns. You know, like I pushed, he promoted, I took, he took the b6 pawn, and I played a4. And this was clearly winning for black. And then I also got the opposition. I ignored it. So I went back to b4. I mean b5 to protect the a4 pawn. I went to a3, and Sir was in zugzwang. He has to go here. Oh wait, he has to either go here or here, over here or here. He can't go here, and there's no use even if he goes there. He has to leave the pawn unguarded. And so there he chose c4. I took the pawn, so I went to c3. I took the opposition, so I went to d2 and e2. And yeah, I could have taken the opposition, but I pushed the pawn. And then Sir was like trying to stop the pawn, but he knew that he couldn't, and he started running away. And yeah, I promoted. And those who don't know how to checkmate with the queen and the king, you're at the right spot. So what you want to do is keep your queen in a knight's jump away from the king, so that you create a barrier against the king. He can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go here, and even if he goes here, he can't go here or here. It limits his squares. And so went back, and you want to try making the box smaller, the barrier. Yeah, it gets smaller and smaller, but make sure to keep it in a nice jump away. You can either keep it, like this, or even like this, keep your queen over here 1 minute. You can even keep your queen over here like this. Wait, 1 minute. Like like this. In this kind of nice jump away too. But yeah, I played this. So went back. I again made it smaller. So went back. And here, you might be wondering why didn't I push the queen to f6. Why I didn't push it is because I thought if I pushed it, if I push my queen here, it would be stalemate. See, if I push the queen here, I thought it would be stalemate. But I didn't see this. So yeah, and I played the queen d7, making it so small that Sir has only these three squares. And then yeah, here is how you get in the knight's jump away. This is the other knight's jump away. You can even keep your queen over here, over here like this. But yeah, you can even do it like this. Anyway is fine, you know. So after you get the king in the corner, make sure not to do the nice jump away again, cause it's stalemate, okay? At the end, when the king is at the corner, you don't wanna do the knight's jump away again, okay? You wanna keep your queen away so that he has one square and he's forced to move into that square. And then so I pushed my king diagonally, from b2 to c3, and then from c3 to d4, d4 to e5, and then to f6. And Sir went on, he was forced to play only those two moves. And here you can waste some time, by, playing, this. And when Sir's forced to go there, you can do this. This is checkmate. This is checkmate. Okay, and if you don't want to do, all that, you can just directly go for mate like this. And you don't want to make him, check him like this because he's forced to go there. And again, you have to play this. But yeah, how I checkmated was I just went on with the, this faster way. And yeah, so that's how I won against GM Praveen Sagar in a 15-minute match. And yeah, make sure to comment on below on what video should I make next. You can give me the topic like what should I play a game or like should I again review another match or something? Yeah, it's based on you. Comment on below, okay? And make sure to comment on the mysteries I asked. The questions. Okay? So until then, make sure to like, subscribe, you know, and I will see you in the next video. For until then, peace out.